Hello there. This is the last episode of the anniversary month, so we are now at the top 10 list of our top 50 list. Yes, let's get started. I heard you have a question for me.
Before we go on the actual top 10, what makes a title top 10 worthy for you? What are your criteria for the elite of elite titles? What makes them special?
For me, it is kinda nostalgia, yeah, nostalgia bias, actually. There are a lot of animes that I have watched as my first animes, so those are in the top 10 list. Or animes that are actually great, have a good storyline, nice written characters, nice animations, everything.
I have only one title where I have nostalgia bias. What is for me important is that is kind of unique what the series does. Or that it's that good in what it does that there are no other series that rival it in its field, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
It
yes.
needs to stand out from the rest. That's one very important criteria for me.
Yes.
Plus, it also needs to be good in every field like storytelling, art, and stuff. There's only one series in my list where I would question it if it's good in everything. That's the one where I'm biased.
Mm,
And
okay.
the other kinda question is the people who listen to a podcast for a few episodes know that I don't agree with something that you have in your top 10.
Mm,
And you also don't know a lot of stuff that I have in my top 10 or you disagree with something. So in today's episode, we need to prove our top 10 to the other guy who always fronts our taste and says that this is bad taste, that it's garbage. That's the mission.
okay,
So be
okay.
ready to defend your picks. Now you can prove to me why a certain mid show is actually good.
I'll try
Then
my
shall we
best.
start? Should I start with my show or do you start?
You can go on if you like.
My number 10 is something that you've also had on your list. Aliens in Shadow, but the light novel. Because this light novel perfectly highlights the strength of a light novel. Ay, ay, ay. Because we have our main character Sid or Shadow, and we have his point of view, which is really hilarious. How he thinks, how he plans his moves out and stuff. That's why the light novel is superior compared to the manga or the anime. And that's why the light novel is at number 10 for me. It's the only light novel in my top 50 list. Plus,
Great.
I'm a bit biased because it was the first light novel that I read.
Ah, okay.
And it proved to be really good. And it's one of the funniest series. And a series that makes me laugh someone who isn't very pleased by comedic series. That's a big plus. Because no matter how I feel, how my mood is, or in what situation I am, I laugh when I read this. And that's nice. That's important.
Yes,
It
it
makes
is.
me happy. Now we can switch.
My number 10 is Darling in the Franxx. And this one is nostalgia bias because it was my first anime, so it had to be in the top 10. Because at this time I didn't had any great anime knowledge, and I thought this was amazing in every way. Like it was spectacular, it was eye-pleasing for me at the time.
Eye pleasing. Yes, yes, I know why.
Yeah, I didn't had any connections or big connections to the anime world, and this one opened the anime world for me, so I had to put it in because of this. Uh,
I
uh,
think
Yeah, do you understand that?
Yes. I have the same thing for me, but with manga in the list. So
Ah,
you will hear the exact same reasoning later.
I see, I see.
Did you ever? I think Darling in Franks is a good example for when you watch a show where you can clearly see the inspiration. I mean, you know from what inspired it, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's also kind of nice. This kind of gotcha moment when you see
Yes.
the inspiration.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's good, not if it's a cheap copy.
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, it wouldn't be in my top 10, but I can understand that. Your first time special
Hmm. And
in more than one
actually,
field.
I watched a few episodes in German, and then I was like, bro, it sounds so weird, oh, and then I switched to Japanese subtitles, and then I enjoyed animes in Japanese subtitles since then.
Old dubs are bad. Newer
Yeah,
German dubs are actually not bad.
I mean, I was at the JJK Zero movie, and nah, bro, this wasn't it. I mean, in German, so
The Schanfrau dub is insane in German. They use our gamer English correct.
crazy. So yeah, you can go on with your ninth place then.
My ninth place is a new one compared to our last top 10 list. It's only romance in this one. It's Bright Story. And this is a series tailor made for me because historical setting and ethnological setting. Both are two, two courses I had in uni. Two subjects, not courses. So nice. It's an historical setting, like 200 or 300 years ago, and it plays in the Silk Road, which is not a Western culture. Plus, I really like one of the main characters, which is an ethnologist who does early fieldwork. In ethnology, fieldwork is when you travel to the cultures, the tribes, and see how they live, and write it down and study it, and try to be a part in their rituals and their culture and stuff. That was refreshing. The art is also really good. It's so detailed. It's insane. Plus, I like the characters. The main waifu, he's nice. Probably the best older sister type. It is an anime. In manga, not anime. I don't know if this has an anime. So, go to Cho. I was even happy about the scene with a horse. And that comes from a guy. So, yes. Good show.
I see, I
Even
see.
though the setting is, at first, it sounds kinda questionable. Because it's arranged marriage and age gap.
Hmm.
But it's a foreign culture and historical setting, so. And nothing worse happens, so.
Okay,
That's.
that's
So
good.
if you want to read a good romance, a historical romance, there's also some action, a bit at least. A bright story may be something for you. Plus, the art is goated. It's S tier.
I see, I see. Should I go on?
Yes, if you don't have anything else to add.
Nope, nope. Let's get on to my ninth place, which is Konosuba. And this one is. I have two isekais in the top tens, and this one is the first of the two. And yes, Konosuba is a really, really funny comedy parody of the isekai genre. I
Should
can.
you have the isekais in your top 10 list?
Huh?
Let's go. Let's go on. You
Uh,
should have three in your top 10 list if you didn't drop something.
uh, nope.
Let's go. Let's go on.
Yes. Um, yes. Konosuba makes me laugh a lot at the times. I I loved Megumin a long time ago. I mean, nowadays it's just cool character for me. Um, yeah, but this series is a very, very good parody of the isekai genre, and it brings a lot of fresh wind into the isekai genre, which is like always the same at nowadays. Like basic trope, basic setting, etc.
Copy pasta.
Yes,
Konosuba is basically a D&D party where everybody memes, by the way.
yeah, basically.
We kinda had a D&D party where it was a bit of the same. We had a mage, Dave, who always wanted to cast Fireball. We had a rogue. And we had a female character who played melee, who was always useless. So, close enough.
Yes,
So we
yes.
knew a bit about Konosuba in this campaign.
So, yes,
I mean,
Konosuba.
I don't vibe with Konosuba anymore. Maybe it's because I started to read the manga and it was not a great experience. But I had fun watching the anime, so either the manga is bad or the humor doesn't stick with me anymore. One of those.
Who knows?
But it's the same reasoning for Eminence. Comedy is probably the most subjective thing that there
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So, no judging until now, I see.
You can go
But
on.
in my next place, there will be some judging. It's Frieren. I know you don't like this show. And it's funny that you don't like this show. Because this show is about basically Frieren is not a Zoomer, but she behaves like a Zoomer. Just walking blindly through life without goals, without enjoying it. That's Zoomer behavior.
Sounds like me, though.
Yes. So the show's actually for you because it's about Frieren learning how to take their time, learning how to see value in little things and see value in teaching people stuff, going on journeys with people, seeing worth in journeys and learning things, and getting to know people. And that's why this show is so highly for me because it did not change the view that I have on the world, but it strengthened it. That I can take my time, I can take things slow, and enjoy things how they are, and see value in the little things that make me happy, and not just the big flash events. So even though there are not many big events right now in my life, I'm happy, and Frieren played a small role in that.
I see.
That show is important, and that's why you should give it a rewatch. It's for me. The manga's in the top 10 list, but on the anime side, it's number one because the adaptation is that good because of music.
Hmm, hmm. I mean, the opening is perfect.
In general, background music when they are traveling, it's also perfect. It has Lord of the Rings vibes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, kinda, kinda.
They were hiking through the mountains and epic music plays. Those are some nostalgic childhood memories for me. Because Lord of the Rings was the shit when I was a child. I mean, it's still the shit. It's probably my favorite movie nowadays.
Yeah, I can see that.
So why did you not like this show? You dropped it after a few episodes.
I didn't
That's
drop
why
it.
I think yes, and that's why I say that you are a zoomer who just can watch stuff when there are big explosions, and slow pace isn't for you. That's where this statement is coming from.
Nah, that's not true though.
Then why did you drop it?
I didn't drop it. I've watched only a few weeks ago one episode.
You
So,
should have told it.
so I will get to it someday.
Someday.
Yes, yes.
Taking your time like Frieren.
Mm.
Roleplay.
I will
Really
get
I see.
I will get to the goal, just like the stone in the snail race in SpongeBob, if you know what I mean.
Patrick Stone. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And so I don't judge. I don't judge.
You did judge at one point. I remember.
Yes, but
And I
opinions can
will never
change.
forget. Yes. It's also an important point in the show. Change and character growth. Now you can go on.
Yes, my eighth place is Bunny Girl Senpai. And yes, this was the first romance, kinda, or the first anime that had romance as the top genre, or the what do you mean, the main genre.
Main genre, yes.
Um, and it had actually some great trauma plots. For example, when Mai sacrificed herself, or basically the scar that our main boy here has on his chest, what it means, or something like this. It has some good plot points actually, and yeah, I like this anime, and I'm very happy that season 2 is going to air next season.
Correct, yes. I'm kinda split on it. I think it has some really strong parts, but there are some arcs or episodes which I felt was were kinda meh. Or I at least did not remember them, so because of that they had to be meh compared to the rest.
I mean,
I think, for example, the beginning is really strong.
yes,
Story of Mai where she's invisible and where the guy confesses in front of a whole school. That's
yes.
a strong scene. That's a moment
Hmm.
that you remember. But after that, the show didn't get to this high for me. That's why I don't have it that high. Plus, there's no manga of it.
Yeah,
Or at
that,
least no manga that was serialized in German or English.
yeah, true. But still, I really, really love the show from the bottom of my heart. And like the sister of our main character, yeah, great show.
I mean, it has one moment where I would say it was top 10 worthy, at least at that moment, so
Hmm.
I can relate.
Yes, you can go on with your seventh place.
Number 7. A show that you will know at the end of this year. Atelier of Witchhead. Best fantasy manga. Artwork is, first of all, a 10 out of 10. It's like reading a Ghibli movie. It's insane. I mean, you can check out the art book short that I made. And I like the writing. It's. I'm now an old, serious man. Old, he says, when he's 29. But I try to be more serious in life. And even though I'm more serious and grown up, this series brings out a childlike side in me when I read it. I feel again like a child watching Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter for the first time, where we had the unknown fantasy world or great magic. I get that warm feeling inside my heart, which rarely in media nowadays, since I'm a grown up man, was capable. That's why the series is here. Plus, the story is really, really good. I'm not going to spoil it, but the moral dilemma between the good and the bad side is also really good. I don't know which side is right because both sides have good arguments. That's really rare.
Yep.
Plus, the artwork is insane. And I am pretty sure that the anime will be good because I have some leaks. Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
I was at the Leipziger Buchmesse, a convention, and there were the manga kauf which had atelier. And we could ask her a question in interview. And one person asked if how is the anime progress going and if it's good. And she said, obviously she can't say anything but she said that she is working closely with the people and that she's really happy about how it's going and that she cried when she saw it. So potentially really good.
Yeah, maybe.
Plus, because of that, the series is also special because that's the only mangaka I saw in real life. And saw drawing in real life, which is also a special experience.
Hmm, definitely.
I mean, did you see mangaka in real life drawing?
Nope.
And any of your listeners? Maybe, maybe not. It's really rare if you're not in Japan. That's why the series is special for me.
But
Could
was
even go higher if the story has a good ending in the future.
but was it a female or male author?
Female manga,
Huh?
female,
Ah, okay.
female. She was also a nice person. She was really happy being at the con and seeing all the cosplayers.
Yeah, I think so. It must be a great honor to see someone cosplay as the character you made, basically.
Yes, there were a lot of cosplayers back there. The only thing that I did dislike about the show is that I didn't get the super special deluxe edition at at the convention because I was too late.
Ah,
I was there 40 minutes after the con opened and it was sold out.
crazy,
And
bro. Crazy.
yes, it was a hardcover edition which was only available at this con.
Ah,
Unlucky.
sucks.
Yes, happens.
Hmm,
You can go on to your next one if you don't have anything else to add.
nope.
I will force you to watch this when it comes out, even if it has to be done over a recommendation.
I see, I
And
see.
even though you don't like it because fantasy is not your thing, but I will try.
So for my next one will be Dun. And now it's finally there. And I am further ahead of you, so I have a little more knowledge than you. Um,
It's a rare moment that the anime guy reads a manga.
yeah, I mean, I read my 4 or 5 mangas a week, like one chapter a week, if they are
Released
published. Yeah, so I do read manga.
sometimes, yes.
Yes. Um,
The shonens basically, a shonen bro.
yes. Yeah, but then the current chapters are actually super wild, and yes, Dan is a very great show that hooks me all the time. Every new chapter is wild. Every new chapter is yeah, it's an experience. Like you have to see it or you read it basically.
Yes, I also had it really high on my list because it breaks away like Chainsaw Man from the standard shonen formula.
Hmm.
And now that you have it on the list, I have an important question for you.
Yes.
Anime or manga? What is better?
Ooh, that's really hard because Science Saru did a good job animating this this absolutely wild manga because in the manga there's a lot of stuff happening, so it's really hard to animate all of
Of
this.
unique perspectives.
Yes, but I think Science Saru does a good job with animating the series, and from what I've seen, season 2 will be great too. But I think the manga is a little bit better, just a smidge.
Yes, I would also agree that the manga is better because the artwork is really cool.
Yeah,
How the author uses perspectives and stuff. But the anime
definitely.
is also upsized because how they use colors.
Mm,
The color palette for each enemy is unique. That's nice.
yes, and I'm very what do you say? Interested? Another word. Um,
It piques your curiosity.
I'm wondering how the evil eye will look like. Which color palette will it have?
I mean, they had like a kind of purple in the last episode of the anime or in
Yeah,
trailer, something like that.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, who knows? We will see when it's airing.
Yes.
But yes, Dandadan is a very, very good show, and the manga is peak.
I mean, I had it at number 24, so solid placement for me as well.
But you are so far behind me, so you don't know a lot of stuff that is happening currently. Because we got so much more new characters, so much more infos about the Dandadan.
Yes, I'm a physical only reader.
Because Dandadan is actually a thing in the manga, so but we don't know either what it is.
Yes, I know that much through spoilers.
Hmm. So Dandadan got a more depth to it than you think.
Yes. That's the only thing I would criticize right now. That is just very episodic without a red stream.
Yes, but if you go further, you will see it's all connected in some kind of way.
I mean, a red string started probably when the aliens were invading. I
Hmm.
mean, at this point, there was a seeable red string.
Yes.
Shall we go on?
Yeah, you can go on.
Number 6, another one that you also had on your list. Grand Blue Dreaming. Same reasoning which you have for Konosuba. It's really funny. You can always laugh. It's nice. I also vibe with it because I'm still a student, so nice. And this show has the best facial expressions, and for me, I really like good facial expressions in manga. There's one of the best things when you read the manga is when you flip a page and then there's a big facial expression, exaggerated facial expression. Either a grimace, which is really funny, a serious expression, or some meme face. That gives a lot of personality towards a manga.
Hmm.
That's why I enjoy a series that you hate more, which I'm reading right now. We'll talk about it next episode. It's a gambling waifu, because there are also good facial expressions. But back to Grand Blue. I mean, in Grand Blue, you have the real Titans at times. They look like Titans from Attack on Titan when they're making their grimaces. Plus, Grand Blue has also one thing which is important for a sport anime because it's about diving with sport.
Hmm.
And if you read a sport anime, you want to do the sport. It should inspire you.
Yes.
And because of Grand Blue, maybe I go dive in the future. Who knows? When I'm old, have a job and the money for it, and I'm going on a trip where there's diving possibly. Who knows?
Hmm.
The same for the climbing mangas. I'm obviously not going to climb on a mountain, but maybe I will go hike on a mountain like you did recently, right?
Yes, I did climb a mountain. I
Ye-
hike on a mountain.
Yes, yes. So it's something on my list as well. And a good sports manga needs to achieve this. That's really important.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
why Grand Blue is my number one sports manga. I mean, you thought you liked it too. You had it on the list as well.
Yes, so it can't be
It's fun.
bad.
Next season is coming out next month, by the way.
Yes, I know.
You can go on.
Um, my next one is Dr. Stonu. Yes, I love the science side of this anime because I can learn more about science through it. I like chemistry, and he does a lot of chemistry in the anime, so I can learn more about chemistry in the series. because it's actually scientific true what he does, basically.
I mean, I
Yes,
read the manga, so but because of Boichi's art,
but you
and I
like
can
it.
say this season there will be the best scene of Dr. Stone by far, a truly a 10 out of 10 moment, the peak. And then there will be the worst moment, so stay tuned for that.
I see, I see. Yes,
But because of certain aspects, Dr. Stone would have been in my top 10 list if I didn't have read the last volume, but
sad,
now it isn't anymore.
sad.
But maybe you will like what happens. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And if you don't like the ending like me, there's still a 10 out of 10 moment coming, so you will definitely like this one.
Nice.
So, my number 1 to 5. Those series are kind of interchangeable. Every one of those can be my number 1. And starting with number 5, it may be a surprise for you, because series has also a lot of nostalgia for me. It's Chainsaw Man, my number 1 at last time. And there's a simple reason why Chainsaw Man is number 5. Why should I read a great story which looks like shit when I can read a good story which looks good?
Hmm, true.
But still, Chainsaw Man's storytelling is great. The characters are great. It has so many moments that stick with me. You can also think a lot about life with Chainsaw Man, with should be your goals in life, the importance of family and people around you, how to enjoy certain things and stuff, and how to be a happy person.
Yep.
Plus, it's really funny. The humor is dumb, and I love it. And I love it for that. I mean, did you read the newest chapter?
Yes.
And then he saw the fallen devil. Oh, woman, chest.
Yeah,
That is a real man.
for real.
But I think part 2 is still the same as part 1, besides the artwork. The artwork is not good. And because of that, Chainsaw Man is sadly at number 5.
I
But
see.
if I would have made this list biased, then it would be at number 1. Still, I mean, you don't have it in your top 10 as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, part
Because of
two.
part 2.
Part two, yeah.
You're not an enjoyer.
I
I mean, I
mean,
said it before, but you should read it in one go, then it gets better from the
yeah,
story.
yeah. So can I
And
go?
finish anything else to add for part 2 to roast it.
No. There's one specific scene that got roasted a lot, and I don't have to talk about it anymore. We both know which scene I mean.
I mean, the Coom scene.
Yes,
It didn't get roasted.
it did get a lot of hate.
Yes, but it was also the most read chapter on Manga Plus last year.
Yes,
Or
because
the
a
year
lot of people
before.
wanted to confirm if it's true or not, I think.
Yes, but still popular because of that.
Yes, but with that, I don't have anything to say about it anymore.
Then you can go on.
So my next one is yeah, but at 5, right?
Yes, 5.
No Game No Life.
Ah, finally, the hate can start. Why is this show good? I really want to know.
I like the gambling in this show. Basically, you you uh,
Struggling.
uh,
I
I don't know the
thought
word for it, but I want to say
suspense that the gambling creates, the stakes.
Yeah, basically. Um,
You're on the edge of your seat when the games are being played out because you
yes,
don't know
yes.
who wins.
And actually, I like the game setting of this isekai world. So there's no war. Everything is decided by games, and actually, I want to live in this world because I want to buy something with just playing video games or something.
Setting is a nice idea. My problem is that the characters are complete assholes. I hate them. And the show looks like shit. I don't like the color palette. It's way too edgy combined with the characters.
It's perfectly
That's why I
fine for
hate it.
me. I don't mind.
The director did an interview recently where they said that they had to break the rules and conventions for it. Because there's reasons why you don't do that. You can read it if you want. But that's basically what has been said. And maybe that's the reason why there's no season 2, because you don't do stuff like that. It looks shit. And the characters are self-centered pricks and assholes. And that's important for an isekai because in an isekai, the main character is probably a self-insert for us. That's why I can vibe with it. And that's why I can enjoy the other gambling show more, because I don't have to self-insert into crazy gambling bitch. But in isekai, that's important that I can relate to the MC.
Hmm.
And I can't because he's a dick. And a siscon.
I mean,
That's my hate.
I would be some kind of dick in this world actually. If had the self-confidence like him, I would go through this world just like him actually.
But why do you have self-confidence like this guy? You're a failure of a human being without social skills. You're
Yeah,
just an
it sounds
asshole.
like me.
Awesome Twitter guy. This guy would get banned on Twitter how he behaves.
Yes, sounds like me though. uh, yes, but I don't know. I like the show.
At least I got it out of my system why I hate it. And why I can't understand why people are screaming for season 2.
Uh, I mean, the ending was such a cliffhanger at this point. I just want to see what's going to happen next, bro.
You can
Please let
like
me.
if you really want to know.
Nah,
Then you don't want to know.
I want to know.
Then read the light novel.
Nah,
Then you don't want to know.
I want to know.
Then you don't want. Then you can read the light novel if you really want to know.
Let's continue on.
Yes, yes, yes. And number 4 is a show that you will possibly really like. It's Arjun. It's one of the best action mangas, which is heavily inspired by ego shooters. I mean, some of the chapters are named Battlefield, Bad Company, Hardline, Modern Warfare, and stuff. They're named after famous shooters.
Hmm.
Plus, this manga has the most underrated aura farmer, which is Sato, an old man. But this guy has so much aura. He's a mass murdering terrorist, but because of his aura, you root for him because he has this much charisma and aura, and he's that epic. And Sato is the best antagonist in manga. He is just him. Besides him, Sanjin Wu looks like a toddler who waves a stick around. And the artwork is insane. The action is insane. The Arjun look really nice. The combat system is really cool because the Arjun are undying. And with that, the story is kinda cool because when you have undying Arjun who instantly generate everything, the government thinks, oh, we can capture these guys and experiment on them for example, drugs, medicine, safety reasons. Because when you can crash a car into a wall with a person in it and the person is undying, then nice test dummy. And because of that, the fights are also really cool. And they are some questions ask about humanity as well and the soul. Because when an Argent dies, they regenerate from the body part which has the biggest mass. So if I cut your head off and you get a new head, are you still you or are you a new person? Is the soul in your heart or is the soul in your brain, in your thinking thing? That's actually an interesting question. What makes you you? What makes you human? Is there actually a part in your body that makes you human, like a soul? Do we have a soul which is physically there?
Yeah,
It's
good
kind of
question.
interesting.
Yeah.
And Sato is the goat. And he's a gamer like us. And because of the fact that he's undying, he likes to play Call of Duty in real life. Which makes him really unpredictable because he wants to do cutscenes and if he's bored, he leaves. It's also really funny. Goes in, kills a lot of people, refuses to elaborate, leaves. The goat. So, if you are still unsure about what to read, this could be something for you.
Mm.
Action, good pace, not that long, only 17 volumes. Enough yapping about underrated Aura Farmer. You can go on.
Number 3, right? No, 4.
Oh,
Bro. Number 4 is ReZero. And season 3 boosted ReZero a lot for me because it had a lot of strengths that season 2
fan
did.
service, yes.
I mean, the action was pretty wild. It was a lot of shit going on, but I like the character development of Emilia, of Subaru. His smart thinking got even better. He basically defeated another witch of the cult. Yeah, yeah. A lot of shit happened, but it looked really clean in the most of the scenes. So big W.
Wasn't there one episode which had a crazy long production time? I don't remember
Yes,
the
yes,
number.
yes. So we had to split the part in two because the one episode had a lot of production time. But still, the waiting was worth it because it was hella smooth.
I've only watched the first 2 seasons.
You should definitely go on and watch season 3.
Yes, but then I need to rewatch the season 1 and 2.
Go ahead and do it. It is
Okay.
worth, trust me. ReZero is really,
And
really
I don't
good.
know if I want to rewatch season 2 again. It's good, it has some really good moments, but it's also really tiring to be stuck at one place for 20 episodes.
Then you should just skip to season 3 then, because season 3 is way better than season 2 and it got the boost through season 3.
Yes, but I've forgotten what happened, and in a plot heavy show, I did want to remember what has happened before. That's the problem. That's a conundrum.
I see, I see.
Because I want to enjoy the plot. That's the strength of a show. For me, at least.
Mm, yes. But ReZero is definitely one of the best isekais out there. I don't want to say the best isekai, but one of the best.
If you word it like that, that's an agreeable take.
So you can,
Next,
yes.
number 3. Innocent. A manga for the history nerds. First of all, it's from Shinichi Sakamoto, again, the best mangaka. So the art is beyond everything else. It's SSSSST art. And the setting is in before the French Revolution, where French and especially Paris was a shitty place. And there we had Charles Henri Sanson, a Frenchman, who was the executioner with the most executions before the guillotine was invented. And there we expect an executioner to be grim and very dark. But this guy is actually a very idealistic person and wants to change the world, and doesn't fit into the heritage of his family. And that's what makes the story great. Carving out your own identity in a world which expects something else from you. Same goes for his sister, who actually wants to become an executioner, even though doing execution is obviously a man's work, and she wants to fit in the man's world and be equal to them. A very feminist character. Vogue, someone would say. Doesn't know. But here it actually fits, so I don't mind it. The art is insane, the writing is insane, the story is really, really good, even though I just read half of it. But the continuation, Instant Rouge, is coming out at the end of this year. And if it's as good as Innocent, then it can even be number one. So, if you're interested in history, this is it. This
Mm-hmm.
is so good.
Yes, yes, I can see that.
You can go on with your third place.
And this one is One Piece.
I had it also quite low on my list.
Hmm. I mean, I'm reading the manga and I can see your point that it feels a little bit rushed at times. But I'm rating still the whole experience of One Piece, and it's still one of the best shows out there if you watch the whole experience. So One Piece is a banger in every
It's per
way.
se not rushed, it's too cluttered. It's too
Yeah,
much information and too little space. That's why it's not fun to read.
yeah, I mean, there are some chapters like that nowadays because Oda wants to finish it,
Mm.
but
And in general, his artwork looks worse.
yeah, not every
It's
time.
yes,
Sometimes it's,
it's close to part two level from Chainsaw Man.
but still, I'm rating the whole experience of One Piece, and I'm putting it in the behind of my mind. Um, yes, if you haven't
Yes, for me,
watched,
probably that is when I want to rate the whole of One Piece. Pre-time skip really good. Post-time skip, nearly every arc is ruined with Wano being ass. That's the problem. Because everything was a build up to Wano, and Wano disappointed. That's the problem. It
ah,
would be the same if Marineford or Enies Lobby were shit, because they had also a lot of build up.
yes, yes, yeah, I don't know. I still like this show.
I mean, I still like One Piece. I have it in my top 50, but I've grown out of it, you can say.
Yeah, I'm in the perfect age, so
Plus,
I'm
because, for example, I don't like the destroyers are nowadays NPCs. They don't do anything.
yeah. I mean, Chopper, when do you do something?
Usopp.
Ah, Usopp is dead, bro. Nobody cares about Usopp.
I've seen a funny picture about Usopp. When Usopp was coming at post time skip and at Sabaody the first time, he had some muscles. And now at Elban, he has some stick arms. He lost actually a lot of muscle. This looks really funny. When
I
he's in
think,
his arc, he's has stick arms and no muscles.
yeah,
Looks so funny compared to when he came out of his training. I mean, if you don't do stuff, you can't gain muscle. That's as simple as that.
mm,
Bro needs to do stuff, then he will become strong.
yes. So One Piece is on my number third place, and yeah, I'm still hyped for every new chapter every week. So
I still like the story, so I still consume it.
hmm,
Should we go on?
yes, go on.
Number 2. Another historical manga. It's Vinland Saga. I mean, what there is to say. It has one of the best revenge stories because of how it's concluded. It's a manga which has probably changed me the most as a person to be more open, more accepting and stuff. And through Vinland Saga, I learned that even though you had some troubles back then, or you were not a nice person, or were not happy with how you are, you can change to a better person. Action is great. I like the artwork. Thorfinn is one of the best written characters. His growth, currently ongoing arc, is really nice. I was hit with the worst spoiler in existence. I hate the internet for that. I really hate it. The spoiler was so mad. If I didn't know what was coming, I would have probably cried for an evening. If I didn't know what was happening. Why is it like this? Why can't you dodge spoilers? I just saw a random picture. I didn't even click on it. Why? It's probably such an important scene for the end of Vinland Saga because it's ending really soon. This sucks, but Vinland Saga is peak. And if there's going to be a season 3, then there will probably be the best arc. At least for me. And Vinland Saga has the best moments in anime and manga for me. I can just name two that you also know. Askeladd's last stand. Epic moment.
Hmm.
And the classic I Have No Enemies. You should watch season 2. It's good.
Yes, I will watch it definitely one day.
Maybe when season 3 is announced.
Yes, then
It
I
would
will
be
definitely watch it.
then. I think I yet enough about Vinland Saga. If you're interested in anime and manga, especially manga, you know how good it is. I
Hmm.
don't need to be the 100th person to tell you that it's that good.
Yes.
It's nothing new. But it's justified that everybody glazes it.
Should I go on?
Yes.
Second place it is, and this one goes to Girls und Panzer. And I think it's unchanged, right? From last time.
No.
Oh yeah, One Piece was second last time.
Yeah.
Yes, Girls and Panzer is the goat when it comes to tank sports.
I mean, if there's no competition, then you are the goat, the greatest, yes.
Yes, yes.
Nobody can argue that.
But yes, it was very interesting because at first I was like, bro, what the fuck? This title, this can't be good, bro. And then I watched it and I got interested pretty quick in it because the tanks and the march music was also really cool that they played.
That's the only thing about Cyber Show is good with music, yes. Music is really, really good. That's the thing what made this enjoyable for me when you recommended me to watch it for a podcast. The
Ah,
rest is okay, but the music is good.
I mean, it
And
has
the movie was also good.
the
This
tensions
was
in the battles are also very, very nice. I like this because there's some high stakes on the line.
that's why I like the movie. Cause stakes are always high when you lost something and need to get it back.
Hmm.
And not when somebody says, if you lose, then you lose, yes. No, when you already lost something and need to fight to get it back. Those are stakes because you already lost. It makes it better. That's why, if I would say I like Girls and Panzer, then the movie is definitely the thing that I liked. Yes.
I like the whole show. It was definitely a bang, and the Anglerfish dance was very funny. This was the whole point because what made me start the series because I saw this meme like 5 years, 6 years ago, and then one day I decided to watch this show, and it turned out pretty good in my opinion. I
Very
mean,
exclusive opinion, but that's what bias is for.
yes,
Can't argue too much with that. Next one will be contentious. Your next one, not mine.
yes, this.
So, did you pay attention to what's missing? What is the show that is missing that they really like or not?
Uh, um, give me a second. Hmm,
You've also read it to a certain point.
to a certain point. Uh, give me another hint.
It's very similar to Chainsaw Man.
Marriage
Very.
toxin.
No. Dore Doro.
Oh, yeah.
Dore Doro is just a better Chainsaw Man at this point. The art is unique, very unique, and that makes it good. Writing is as chaotic as Chainsaw Man. I love the cast. The show has some insane plot twist. The brutality is over the roof. The humor is top 10. And it has ended so. Nothing can get fucked up. It's also a plus point. And I like the ending. And I really like the characters. The story, the humor, the brutality, the fights. I like everything about the show. But this is also a show where a lot of bias is involved because you either like Doro or you find it trash because it's too weird. But that's what I like anime and manga for. It's stuff that is weird. That is weird to us Westerners. Which is so far away from our norms and stuff that we have in movie or games. That's why we like anime and manga. For unique stuff.
Mm.
And as I said in the beginning, uniqueness is a very important point for me, and Doro is the most unique that you can watch or read. I think that's a solid take to make.
Yes.
And that's why it's my number one. The last list, Chainsaw Man was my number one. And now, the objectively better Chainsaw Man is my number one.
Yeah, I can
Now,
understand that.
why is a show carried by animation? The number one of a certain someone. They really want to know. Make your point.
Demon Slayer is a good show. Statement. Exclamation point. Finished. Nah,
It would reflect the intellect of a Demon Slayer fan who just gets blinded by colors and explosions, yes.
um, I have to say I was there before it got hyped from all the brainrot anime followers, and at the
Like
time,
Ninja, Alpha Anime Watcher Kappa.
I was watching it. Um, there wasn't anything better for me than Demon Slayer because the
It was
animations.
same here, Billard Saga was airing.
Yes, but I didn't watch Vinland Saga at this time. Um, yeah, So Demon Slayer had those sick animations, this pretty the pretty colors and everything. The episode 19, which was definitely one reason for my number one spot because
An asshole when you think about it. A random power up coming out of nowhere. Yes.
no, I mean the whole how do you say the whole build up to that power up? I mean,
There is none. I know what you mean. How it's directed, how the choreography is, how the music is.
yes,
I mean, from a story perspective, a power comes out of nowhere.
and I had goosebumps when I saw this scene because I was feeling like Pro would die, and then the sad music played, the flashback came, and I was like, Bro, please don't die. I had tears in my eyes, even though I really thought he would die in this moment. But then he pulled out the he he what's uh I don't
Hito no Kami irgendwas, something.
yeah
Something with Hito and Kami.
yes and I was like, holy shit, bro, what the fuck happened? And yeah, because of moments like this, the anime is pretty goated. I mean, the manga looks meh, I can definitely agree with that, but you can't hate the anime because the anime looks hella clean.
The only problem is that because of how good the anime is good. I'm not saying anything against it. But because of that, the manga was a representation for manga as a medium because everybody was buying it and talking about it.
I
And that's the
mean,
point I
I
don't
mean,
like.
isn't that bad for the manga industry if more people buy more manga?
But couldn't have been a good manga or representative, which deserved it through good art.
I mean, maybe a lot of people bought more manga because of the Demon Slayer manga, so it was
Yes,
definitely a W for the manga industry.
yes, that's true. I don't argue against it. In Germany, we have a publisher called Manga Cult. And Demon Slayer is their biggest series, and they bring out a lot of old school stuff with the Demon Slayer fans. But the same thing could have been done with a series who just wasn't shit. The manga. It could have been the same if Ufotable has animated something where the manga was good. That's the point.
And for me, I don't think the story isn't any problem at all. I like
But
it.
it's good.
I mean, it's simple, but it does it purpose. So you know, it's easy to understand basically.
It's just typically shown. Yes. The only thing which I would say about the plot is good, that there isn't that much plot armor. That's a good thing.
Yes,
That's what I would say is the only good thing that the story does, which makes it more engaging. But the rest is standard.
and it's not bad in so everyone can watch it without even have to fully engage with it, with making theories, etc., like in One Piece or something.
The manga was also close to cancellation before the anime started, by the way.
I know, and I'm
Just
happy
say.
that it didn't happen. So yeah, for me, Demon Slayer, the number one spot. And yes, I think that's about it for our top 50 list.
Yes. But the last wording is those lists are just a capture of a moment. Because for me, for example, there are some new things which will be probably in the list in a few months down the line, or even next week because I started reading a really, really good manga, which you will hear about in the recap episode. If the story continues to be good, it has potential to be top 10 even. So there it goes. Those lists can change really fast.
Hmm. So this is just a moment capture. So
Correct. Yes.
in a few months it can look totally different.
Yes. Maybe Dr. Stone isn't in your top 10 because you dislike the ending like me.
Yeah,
Or it will even be higher because you really love this peak moment that is coming. Who
who
knows? It can
knows?
go both ways.
And with this, we conclude this list and we thank you for listening to this top 50 list and the other episode that we made.
Yes. Next episode will be a recap.
Obviously.
And after that, we will tackle the probably biggest anime season since a long time.
Hmm.
That's a statement to make, I think, which
Yes.
is agreeable.
So the episode after that will be 2 hours long.
It's even that big, we made an extra video about it,
Hmm.
besides the podcast one. So stay
Yes.
tuned for that.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Have a nice rest of your day.
Comment us your top 10 anime if you want, and we will agree or disagree with your opinion.
Or roast our taste, also agreeable.
Yes. Uh,
Without insults, obviously.
yes, of course.
We have no enemies, but we still can criticize our taste. What
Hmm.
Torfin said.
Yes.
That's a that's nice.
So we thank you for tuning in and tune in for next episode.
Yes.
Have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.